Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Nothing like a little bit of technical difficulties. All right, am I in there? All right, I'm in there. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for your patience. Look, I got to be real with you. Okay, so Serialist was on tonight. They had a remarkable guest on. A lot of us know him by the name of Faceless, so I had to show some love. I was kind of going in and out of there, right? But I submitted a build. Okay, I don't know if you guys saw it, but I had to stick around to see the build, and I had to tie up some other things while I did this. So thank you all for just the patience, and you guys are great. Y'all are great. I got a couple things here we're gonna enjoy together tonight. But if you hadn't seen that build, then maybe go back and rewatch Serialist. You know what I mean? Get a little bit of gun building. It was good shit. It was good shit. And Faceless was just a blast. And yeah, they're great. All right, so let's go ahead and begin. So, ladies and gentlemen, the name of the stream today is Mass Noncompliance, and you guys are gonna love the little spin that we did on this. So, first, let's start by just congratulating a man, a scholar, straight up G. A lot of you guys know a gentleman by the name of Joe Morris. Well, Joe Morris was first this evening. So, Joe, sir, congratulations. And you, sir, are due at least one thumbs up and at least one high five. So, congratulations. Appreciate you coming in. Hey, it's a Luigi. Luigi, what's up, brother? Good to see you. I see a couple folks I hadn't seen in a while. So, Luigi, good to see you. We also got Tifer Tejas. Tifer Tejas, said he was busy, tied up lately, so he hasn't been able to enjoy the stream. So it's great to see you in here. Let's go through and just say what's up to all the Chenamembas. So we got Constitutional Carpenter. What's up, brother? Chenamemba. We got Kurt 24, Chenamemba. Mike McClune, Chenamemba. Constitutional Carpenter. Misty, Misdemeanor, Miss Wayne, another Chenamemba. Fire Otter, Chenamemba. Moose, got that Moose, got that 47, Chenamemba. Agorizer, what's up, brother? Another Chenamemba. Jeff Cron with the face, always with the face. I think he knows that little face bothers me a little bit, but it's okay. Another Chenamemba. Zeeth, he knows what's up. He knows what's up. Z, good to see good to see you, brother. I appreciate you coming in. Appreciate you joining us. Fluffy Bunny Arsenal. Sorry. So Z is another Chenamemba. Chenamemba. Fluffy Bunny Arsenal. What's up, brother? So I did not ship your shit out today. Okay. There's a reason I didn't. I'm throwing a couple little surprises in there for you. So I wanted to, make it special. So just know that that's getting shipped out, and everyone else's shit is finally going to be shipped out. I'm sorry I've been so delayed, guys. It's been challenging, kind of trying to navigate through a full-time job and being a father and a husband in the middle of a separation, and a person with a fucking business and a fucking channel. I have to do at least 9 hours of live streaming a week, plus shorts and videos and editing and all this shit. So it's been difficult, I'm not gonna lie. And I'm also doing other classes like for YouTube and the channel and shit like that. So guys, just bear with me. I promise I'm not a lazy dirtbag. I've just been running my shit to the max right now, but you guys are going to see a lot of dope ass shit upcoming in the future. So just, keep watch. Agorizer, what's up, brother? Another Chenamemba. Good to see you. Jeff Cron, Chenamemba. Key, ASC, Chenamemba. Marconi, what's up, brother? Another Chenamemba. Timbo Slice says, let's go. Timbo Slice, another Chenamemba. Good to see you. JC9, allegedly, Dark lives in Latino Hood. I thought that said Latino Hotel because my thumb was covering it a little bit, but that's awesome. You know what? Honestly, there is a lot of what some people would call Mara Sabra Chucha Trece in my area. Also, 18th Street in MS13. There's a lot of it out here. I'm not going to lie. I mean, y'all should see the news. I mean, not like the news actually tells the truth, but Fluffy Bunny, Agorizer, Misty, Misdemeanor, Miss Wayne, Fire Otter, what's up, brother? Another Chenamemba. Jeff Crown with the Blue Hot, Marconi, T for Tejas, what's up, brother? Another Chenamemba. Fire Rider Kurt 24, T Protect. Hey, Flying Rich. What's up, brother? Good to see you. Constitutional Carpenter. It's Luigi. Who else? I missed some more. Sandwich Chef, the chef of sandwiches. What's up, brother? Good to see you. Hey, Evan Budzinski. Yeah, I saw. So Evan Budzinski is going on a 100-yard 22 LR competition. So that's dope. Remember, 22s move a lot with wind around 100 yards. It's challenging. So I wish you the best of luck, my guy. Another channel member. Channel member, by the way. JLM, what's up, brother? Another channel member. Dark, you rock, bro. Thanks, no worries, especially if you hand out cool shit. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Sandwich Chef, Evan Bazinski, JLM, Chris. I'm just making sure I didn't miss anybody, y'all. Hey, it's Luigi. It's great to have you back. Great to have you back. Okay, so now the honorable mentions. We got Night Strike 1. What's up, brother? DLD After Dark. Try running a social media platform, running a YouTube channel on top of doing several jobs. Yeah, I'm with you. Trust me. Who else we got? Kurt 24. Benchies Go Boom. What's up, brother? Good to see you here. And by the way, guys, so Benchies Go Boom has a YouTube channel. He's balls deep into 3D printing, and it's a really good resource. He is also a chief instructor at a university on this shit. Whoa. Okay, here we go. Pending Illinois felon. Damn. Okay, so I wasn't aware that you were in Illinois. That sucks, bro. I can't give any advice, but if I were to give any advice, it would be to do nothing. And I'll leave it at that. But I don't give advice. And if you take advice from me, you're stealing. I'm just saying. Okay, who else did I miss? I want to ride. What's up, brother? Good to see you. Night Strike. Let me see. I just want to make sure I didn't miss anybody here. All right, I think we got everyone. Let me go back to the Morning Star. What's up, brother? Hey, man, you're authorized to use lethal force to stop a felony. What's a deprivation of rights charge? More like felonoise. Facts. Reliably make hits on a Coke can at 710 yards with a 22 LR. So for me personally, it's about the quality of the rifle, quality of the ammo. Beyond 100 yards, wind is a big issue, but it can be addressed, definitely. Christy, another honorable mention. Good to see you. HF is in the house. Let's go. Christy Turtle. Scott, Deep Magnificent. I'm here, Dark. I just came. I bet you did. Morningstar. What's Gucci, my Brazilian nut jobs? Oh, this is so bad. All right, so there's a little bit of a play on the title today. Hey, Farmer James, what's up, brother? Good to see you. The only advice is be patient. It's God's country, not theirs. Facts. Yeah, so high velocity is typically the cure, but high velocity with the right grain weight and, of course, the right barrel length and barrel twist is, important. Paul Revere, 1776. What's up, brother? Thanks for joining us. So we got a little bit of a spin on the title tonight. If you take a look at the title, what you'll see first is mass noncompliance, right? Now, I know what a lot of you guys think, right? Like when you think of mass noncompliance, you think of, let's say, for an example, hey, too many choices. Did I miss you? What's up, brother? Another Jim Memba. Timbo Slice. Did I miss somebody? Ron Bayer. What's up, brother? Another channel member. Can't miss my folks. Craig Licka. What's up, brother? Another channel member. Yeah, and just channel members sound off if I miss you. I apologize. Obviously, Joe Morris is a channel member as well. Okay, so and the nice wax sled round nose will it help? I'm feeding. Nice. Mass non-compliance is needed. Okay, so on this, there's a little bit of a twist on this, okay? So mass non-compliance, of course, is like, for an example, the ATF puts out some bullshit open letter, which they just published 5 paragraphs, right? That's all they did. They said they sent the letter to FFLs. Every single FFL that I've spoken with have not received it, number one. Number two, there was no legislation. There was no act of Congress. There was nothing. All they did was publish an opinion, okay? After, follow me, they published a 364-page document that they spent months and months and months, probably years, because they're fucking retarded. Oh, shit, I can't say that. There goes the stream. Oh, well. Because they're slow and take more time to do normal tasks. Because of that, I think I can get away with one. It's all good. They published 364 pages of a document that is their final rule change for unfinished frames and receivers, right? And then in this document, they say this can never be changed. This can never be changed. We can't change it. You can't change it. Even if the Supreme effing Court comes out with a new ruling, it can't be changed. And then 45 days later, they drop another 24-page clarification, right? That says this clarification, it's a change. Basically an amendment, right? This clarification is added to it. It's a change. And then 45 to 60 days later, they drop another 5 paragraphs. So they're changing it themselves. Anyway, so what we all need to do, I'm sorry, that would sound like advice. So my, what would be the best way to word this? In my experience, what would be needed from the general populace is mass noncompliance. And we're going to discuss that. But with that are state laws all over the country right now that are already infringements on your God-given rights that are supposed to be protected by the Second Amendment. But yes, I do, Crump. I do like the text that you sent earlier that I can't talk about. Why you put me on the spot like that? No, yeah, it was cool. So all of these state laws that are, published all around the country and carry the full force of the effing law behind it, right? You will get sent to prison, get effed in the A, get, whatever, lose everything. They'll take all your money, everything, right? Gone. Aside from the mass noncompliance that needs to take place in this country, and we all, we all should be publicly showcasing our displeasure with this bullshit, especially with no legislation, especially with no act of Congress, especially with them just uttering words and expecting you to follow their opinion as if the full weight of the law is behind it, because in reality, it is. It's fudged up, but it is. But the real thing to discuss with all these state laws is that there's a state like Massachusetts. Now, in a state like Massachusetts, guess what? There are a lot of infringements. So we're going to talk about mass compliance, which I just happen to call this mass noncompliance. So on that note, I'd like to take a moment and introduce our guest, the guest that you expected Tuesday, but see on Thursdays. Pinkies up. I see that. Pinkies up. Shooting Gallery, New England. What's up, brother?
What's crack lacking? How you doing?
Good. How
Happy
are you?
to be here. Sorry about Tuesday. Good. You guys ran a little late, and I was talking to my family and stuff like that, dealing with some stuff. But I'm here.
Yeah, I appreciate that. It's all good. Glad that you're here, and I let everyone know you had a little family thing. So it's all good. So
appreciate
now
it.
People here that may not know who you are. Let's say most do, but some may not know who you are. Let everyone know who you are, what you do, and where they can find you.
Well, I am the bomb, like tick tick. No, my name's Joe. I run Shooting Gallery New England, or Shooting Gallery NE on YouTube and Instagram. No longer TikTok. Got the nuke on that one, but yeah, I do how-to tutorials, gun reviews, gear reviews. Talk about freedom. Run a podcast, Shooting Woods podcast every Monday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
That's fun, and your podcast is fun. So I'll say his podcast is as fun as like Shooting in the Woods.
Yeah, I know, right?
Just is Shooting in the Woods.
Yeah.
What's your podcast called?
Shooting in the Woods.
Oh, nice, man. That's dope. Dude, when I set, this is how big a Glock 21 is. When I set my Glock 21 down, it shook the whole camera.
Well,
Like that's crazy. You had a Glock, you know all about that.
Yeah, it's don't let's not bring that up. I wish I never had I wish I never sold that gun. I'm never getting that back.
We maybe we can come together and help you get one back. All right.
Yeah.
Especially once you get out of Massachusetts.
Oh, dude, listen, people like PSA, Brownells, CDNN, 1776 Supply Co., you name it. Oh man, I'm dropping some serious money. It's like this is like reparations after World War One. Okay. Dude, John Crump's the man.
John Crump Live. Thank you for the $2 super chat. He says, Dark is the man. I'm just kidding. He says, Joe is the man. And I agree. Joe is awesome. He's great.
I am a man.
He's also a man. Yep.
Yeah.
What is a man?
Yeah, I don't know. How can we get? Are we politically correct on this, or it is 2023?
Yeah, I mean, maybe I should have asked what a woe man is.
Definitely not that.
Yeah. Coming in for a second before I crash, you drank all the topo, bro. Not topo. I have kind of a funny story. I
thought you had some Jones soda, and I'm like,
it's basically it's whatchamacallit, cream soda. But here's the effed up thing, okay? But this one though is root beer. But no, so I don't usually drink soda. I usually drink seltzer, right? Because like I quit drinking soda because it was super bad for me. You know, it's just like, you know, no bueno. So I quit drinking soda. But I started drinking seltzer instead because you still get the bubbles and all that shit. And it sounds so no homo, right? But you know, I started drinking that shit, and so I usually drink like you know, Topo Chico and all shit like that. But today, I went out to the store and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna get a few you know, packs of these bottled sodas. So I get some, get back from the store, open up my door, and what the fuck happens? You know those rocket launchers?
Yeah.
The 4 holes in it?
Yeah.
It was the 4-pack tipped over like this. It was just like, it was like, no! And it smashed all over the place, man. Shoes all sticky, glass can stuck to everything, man. It was terrible. Morningstar, thank you for the 223 super chat. Revelations, let the wrong, vile, righteous, and holy be. This is an excellent point. Who are we to judge, right?
I like John Crump's comment. I learned the difference between girls and boys from Kindergarten Cop. Such an underrated movie. That movie could not be made today.
Okay, hold on. So you've seen Kindergarten Cop?
Yes. Many times.
Okay.
Own it on DVD.
Have you seen The Goonies?
Bits and pieces.
Okay. Have you seen The Goonies from start to finish?
No.
Have you seen Die Hard?
No.
What are other movies that you haven't seen that every single person in this chat has seen?
I haven't seen Lethal Weapon. Haven't seen Top Gun. Haven't seen Hurt Locker. Haven't seen. I don't know. A lot of 80s movies, I guess. Boondock Saints.
You haven't seen Boondock Saints?
No.
What the mom? Okay, hold on. Now, okay. I Kindergarten Cop, Goonies. Hold on. Kindergarten Cop and Goonies and Die Hard are my whole generation. Lethal Weapon. I know Lethal Weapon too.
No.
Thank you, more. By the way, I appreciate you. Don't feel bad, Joe. I'm not a movie guy either. But you don't have to be a movie guy to like have like Oh, okay, Red Dawn, the original Red Dawn.
I just watched that recently because one of the guys at the shop was like, You're not No, I've not seen Conan the Barbarian, Walter, unfortunately. Shit.
Uncultured swine.
You
Jeez,
should listen to my inventory manager. He's about ready to fire me if he asks me one more. Hey, have you seen this? And I say no, he'll fire me.
dude, What about Three Ninjas?
I've seen the first one, not the one.
Yeah,
Yeah,
matters, bro.
yeah.
Three with Rocky, Colt, and Tum Tum. Yeah,
Oh yeah.
that's where it's at, man.
They're like sharpening scissors and shit for the guy that's breaking in, and
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
The best part was when they were walking and they broke in using the it was a pizza, right? Yeah, and they get in and the dude takes his 38 special and then pulls it up and scratches his head with it. That's man.
Oh yeah.
I like was laughing as a kid, right? Like I knew about muzzle awareness as a kid, but man, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Senior Bob, what's up? Oh, Falling Down. Have you seen Falling Down?
No.
Oh, that's a good one, man. I mean, it's basically about a man that breaks and starts shooting. Well, I'll let you watch it.
Yeah.
Okay. So then, what have you seen? What movies do you enjoy?
I like comedies. I like when I was a kid, I watched like kind of like shit, cool shit like that. I'd watch like my dad let me watch Predator when I was a kid.
Okay.
I liked a lot of Arnold Schwarzenegger movies, so like I watched pretty much like all the Terminators. I watched Major Payne was like one of my favorite movies.
See, I could never get. I've watched that obviously, but
it's fucking hilarious.
it's that I can keep going back to. Some movies you could just keep going back. And look, guys, we didn't like have a conversation about talking about movies, but sometimes like this shit just needs to be discussed.
Oh yeah, it takes precedent. But yeah, no, I've seen like The Matrix. I watched a lot of Star Wars and Lord of the Rings. I was a huge Power Rangers fan as a kid, so I watched like a ton of Power Rangers growing up.
Did you watch this movie, the original one?
Yeah, I rented that so many times. My parents got sick of renting it because every Friday night that's what I watched.
Yeah,
I've seen
that,
Turner and Hooch. I see Walter out there asking. Shawshank Redemption was like is probably my all-time favorite. Like whenever that's on, I'll just sit down. I don't care, and that's what I'm doing for the entirety of whatever's on.
So yeah, so everybody, keep this going for a second. I want to kind of go over some of the movies. Yeah, Full Metal Jacket.
Just saw that recently with my uncle.
Nice. Ooh, Apocalypse Now.
Nope.
Okay, that's a good one to watch. Spaceballs.
Yes, I've seen that. Yep.
Okay, all right. See, Police Academy.
I've never seen it.
So it is worth watching, Police Academy, but for me, like the Naked Gun, Police Academy, and all that, like I would definitely say watch them. But for me personally, it's just not something I like going back to over and over.
Yeah,
there are some movies like Blazing Saddles.
Never seen it, and I got screamed at work about that.
What for not watching?
Yeah.
R.I.P. Jason. What is this?
Yeah, Jason David Frank was the Green Power Ranger, and it was actually a very close friend of John. So sorry, John, didn't mean to bring that up. Hopefully,
When did he pass away?
He passed away about a month and a half ago.
Holy shit! I had no idea.
Yeah, John. He was kind of fucked up over it. Good, he's friendly, very very good friends with him.
Yeah, they were friends. Crump, I had no idea, man. I'm sorry about that.
Yeah, he was actually in John's first book.
Damn.
Yeah. But sorry to bring the mood down for you, John. I love you, buddy. But yeah, no, I did that. I watched a lot of that. Then also
Point Break, the first Point Break.
Yeah, I've seen that. I remember seeing that once. That was like
the first Point Break was good. The
remake with Keanu Reeves, right?
Correct. Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I've seen it. Yep.
Yeah, and the remake was decent. But what can you do with a movie like that? That's like such remarkably bad acting, but you still watch it, right?
Yeah.
Utah, give me two. Give me two. I don't know if you guys, somebody out there will remember that. I am an FBI agent. Oh, shit. That's
Yeah.
good. I'm just about a group of kids that knows what a VHS is. Yeah, sadly, a lot of people.
Yeah, VHS, man, was the shit. Like,
Ooh, what about apocalypse movies? What kind of apocalypse movies have you seen?
I've seen This Is the End. That's more of a recent movie.
It's a good movie though,
Oh, it's fucking funny.
because that's how the majority of the world is going to be acting in the apocalypse.
Yeah, I've seen Zombieland. I've seen
Good one.
World War Z.
Also a good one. What
Let's
about
see.
The Road?
No, I've seen Apocalypto. Granted, it wasn't really apocalypse.
The
Day After Tomorrow, I've seen.
What about 28 Days Later?
Yes, I did see that. That was good. That the Book of Eli was also a really good one.
Book of Eli. Yep.
Armageddon, if you consider that a apocalypse movie, kind of is.
Oh my God.
I mean, Bruce Willis is just like a straight up gangster.
Yeah, yeah. The Road sucked. What? Dude, The Road was a remarkably, I mean, like that was an excellent movie. The Road was great. And of course, yeah, the Book of Eli was great. Like there's
Sister Act.
I mean, I've seen Sister Act. I had sisters and shit, so like
I had a brother. I didn't have sisters, so I didn't really watch that shit.
I was blessed with both. Yeah, but there's some shit like, okay, like what about Ghost?
No,
Patrick Swayze?
I'm not a Swayze fan.
Roadhouse?
Nope. I'm not a Patrick Swayze fan.
Oh, Mad Max. I actually didn't enjoy the original Mad
I
Max.
didn't care for that. When I saw the original, I didn't care for it.
Yeah, it was just like, I don't know. I mean, some Mel Gibson movies are good, like
The Patriot.
The Patriot was a good one.
Oh, that's like, again, another one where it's on. That's what I'm doing for the next hour and a half.
Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. Okay, have you seen Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas?
No.
Okay, so
isn't that where a guy takes a bunch of drugs and he just drives down the desert?
No, it's where they take drugs through the entire movie.
Oh, okay.
Like breathing like ether while they're like eating acid and taking mescaline, and they're like so lit, they're like walking like sideways and like.
So it's like the movie The Wall, for the Pink Floyd movie The Wall.
Yeah, I mean, I guess you could say that basically, but I mean this is a whole nother level of trippy. Like I remember, so like we would always like joke about it because we always watched it like sober as like kids, as young teenagers, and then like we would always say like, man, never watch this movie like tripping, because you will just have a bad trip. You'll trip your balls off. It's so trippy, and all the effects and all the like. And then one day when we were kids, I don't think I should get into too much detail, but let's just say that me and like two of my friends were like, let's tripping our balls off. And we did. And after the movie, one guy like got like terrified and left. He is still alive to this day. He made it home safe and all that. And then afterwards, like I was like, I can't stay in this basement alone trying to sleep. Like I'm out of here. And my buddy is like tripping his balls off. He's like, no, please don't go. Please don't go. Please don't. Dude, it was so crazy. Like that movie will do something really, really special to you if you're not in your right frame of mind and not way.
Nice. So, yeah.
Carlito's Way.
No.
You haven't seen Carlito's Way? That's a good one.
No.
This big black company broadcast is brought to you by King George.
That's like one of my favorite scenes in the entire movie, The Patriot, when he goes, "God save King George," and also you just hear like gunshots and knives being thrown, and the guy's just like, "Yeah, we're in the right place."
Yeah.
It's like it's like that's what people did in the days of the American Revolution, where they were just tired of being oppressed by this tyrannical dictator, and it was the start of America.
Yeah. Where people didn't fucking let their government walk all over them, and but lobby day coming up. Lobby
Yeah,
day,
I was gonna say, you going to lobby day?
I will. So my schedule is working out literally perfectly to where I'll be able to, because I'm not going to SHOT Show till Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So I'll be able to go to lobby day Monday, and then I have a work commitment I have to do on Tuesday, and then I'll be able to go to SHOT Show after that.
Well,
So
how about this? If you're gonna go to SHOT, just
mhm.
saying, if you find anybody that's giving out extra patches, just let you know.
It's funny.
Keep me in mind.
Everyone that I talk to that's not going has asked me to do that.
Mainly, I need you to stop by Safety Harbor Firearms and get in. Pick me up his two patches.
Here's when I get a shot, what I usually do is I find the Condor booth, right? Condor, they do the plate carriers, the bag. And almost every year they give away like these crossbody bags, and they're so you can put all your SHOT Show shit in it, right? So I'll grab one of those, and then I'll roll around and I'll just yep, 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 yep. And now that I don't look, guys, as coming from a guy who runs a small business, DLDhardware.com, just saying. And thank you to the people that reached out. Like, guys, because frames aren't being sold right now, and this is part of the issue that we're dealing with companies complying and people complying. But I will say, I'm going to bring something up in a minute. There are companies that are still selling frames that are looking at the way the open letter was worded and looking at it differently. So it's important. Mass non-compliance is important, especially if we could say, no, this letter said partially completed frames and receivers. These haven't been touched. So I'm going to sell these, and this is going to give us another chance to get another batch out in the hands of people that that deserve them. So F the ATF. That's what I'm saying.
Good day.
Good day, mate.
Yeah. But I'm excited. I'm going to the Great American Outdoor Show in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. Can't wait. Since I can't go to SHOT, I'm doing the Great American Outdoor Show. It's going to be fun. It's February 4th through, I believe, the 12th. It's a 9-day show. Okay. I'm going to go the first weekend, and it's good. Get to hang out with my buddy Tony Simon. Gonna see some other people.
Well, you guys know a great lawyer. Yeah. What are you sipping on there, Dark? I am sipping on this handcrafted
IBC root beer.
Virgil's root beer.
I've never heard of that. I've only done IBC. But yeah, no, I can't wait for the Great American Outdoor Show. It's gonna be fun as hell.
Ooh, The Outsiders. Have you seen The Outsiders?
No.
All right, we'll work on that. Grease?
Nope.
What? Grease is like I mean, that's something. Yeah, we'll work on that.
I trust me. I have a long list of not only guns I gotta buy, but movies I've been sequestered to watch. So,
stay golden, pony boy. Stay golden, boy. I mean, look. I mean, there are.
What are you looking to do? What are you looking to get out of SHOT?
Hold on, Damien. Grease is a classic family movie. Okay. Ooh, The Warriors. All right. So I'm sorry. This is gonna go on. So I'm a movie mofo. So
I am too. I'm a movie buff.
Can you say? I mean, I guess it's just like a different stuff, right? You like more like fantasy and like stuff like that. Yeah. Like enough of this reality stuff. We want fantasy shit.
Yeah, dude. Our reality is a joke right now. So I need something to fill it up. Just fill it up.
Yeah. If she ain't greasy, I ain't sliding in. We need to lock him in a room for
my
like
God.
3 weeks straight. Let's say yes, but let's make it clear that it would be not against his will. He would have the ability to eat and use the restroom and stay hydrated, and right. But yeah, I agree. If you give me Tech Money, what's up?
What's up, buddy?
If you give me the Band of Brothers, that's a good one too. If you give me like 3 weeks with you, I will constantly just have you on like this like movie track of like it'll totally change the way you look at the world.
I agree. But so yeah, what are you looking to get out of shot? Like what
Yeah, so a few different levels. So the first level is going to be looking at this two ways: networking as a business owner with DLD hardware, and then expanding that in a few different directions, which I already have some ideas, which I can't totally talk about yet. But let's just say that the Renaissance years of building is coming back, and the things that we used to build prior to P80s being so inexpensive and abundant and available. We're going to go back to that. Now, I believe that the lawsuits are going to end in our favor with Polymer 80 frames, even if they are a little different in the future.
80% arms, they are exempt from that. And I have a GST9. I love that gun. I love that frame. It's a nice frame.
So they are, but they're on a temporary restraining order. They're on a TRO. So they're exempt from it for now. And I'm hoping they and others will be exempt from it forever, right? Like and that would, I mean, understand that would like stop my business. If everybody was allowed to sell frames and jigs together, my business would like gone, right? But I would rather that freedom, independence, and privacy be, given back to the general public for building guns.
Yeah, exactly.
So I'm willing to take that L so we could have freedom, independence, and privacy back in gun manufacturing. But
and that's what I told people when this whole thing went down too. I was like, all right, now you guys got a taste of what's going on in Massachusetts, and now it's nationwide.
well, at least in Massachusetts, you can actually get them, and that because they're not giving anyone away to actually purchase them, because they're like, oh, they're guns, you got to buy them from a manufacturer. Okay, well, if they're guns and we have to buy them from a manufacturer, that means that somebody has to purchase them, serialize them, log them, and then sell them on a 4473. Who's doing that right now? No one.
Exactly. But also, it gives people more of an opportunity, because since at the shop I work at, I'm seeing a lot more like serialized frames coming in. Like I have one of those AFT kits, the serialized Polymer 80 Glock 17s. I like it. We're selling a lot of those. I've seen Norso frames come in. I've seen regular straight, people order,
Norso frames?
Yeah, Norso makes a Glock 19 and 17 size frame.
What?
Yeah, they're pretty sick. It's a different contour, but it's more like VP9 meets a Glock.
I thought Norso only did slides for Glocks.
No, they made frames. They made aftermarket frames at one point. I don't know if they still make them, but I did see a few Norso frames come in. I've seen all the other serialized aftermarket Glock frames.
Damn.
Yeah, I've seen some, but that still people are building Glocks, and right now the big thing is building 320s because FCUs are so available.
Yeah, I mean, I would really, really, really like to see companies like JST Supply manufacture the jig for 320s, because the fire control unit for a 320 is another thing that we could build as well.
Hey, you and I both have an MUP1. I love mine.
Yeah, I have another one that's it's virgin, it's undrilled, and I have a jig too, and I want to go to town on that shit, because I had a couple small things that were issues building the 320, and then I think my parts kind of like started working despite the challenges. So when I took those parts out and put them in a serialized one to see if it would fix the issues, then the parts kind of were like out of spec, and I'm like, shit. So I fucked up something. I don't know what.
Yeah, I gotta like go attack my MUP1 to fix the trigger. I think I just need to take like a honing stone and
Mhm.
kind of not countersink the trigger hole, but like just kind of smooth it up a little bit to smooth
Yeah,
out the trigger.
yeah. I think I got to do the same thing, and
I just
the,
hate taking apart the fire control unit on a 320. It's just so annoying.
yeah, it's. I mean, you can take the conal shaped sanding bit.
Yep.
It's like a cone, basically, one with the tip that. Well, it's a cone.
Yeah.
Anyway, uh,
I
I'm
pick up what you're putting down.
yeah, I'm trying to describe a fucking cone to you. I'm pretty sure you know what it is. And you can give the holes like a nice like chamfer kind of look to it, which I tried to do to mine, but you just got to be cautious to not, you know, like wallow them out, wallow, whatever, make them wider. Just got to be cautious about that. Trying to find a Gymtech Mist full integral for my 1022 build.
Ooh, yeah.
That's a dope setup. You keep in
Oh
mind
my god.
you
I would
can
love it.
almost nothing if you can find. You could very easily make that yourself. That style. My buddy has a whole takedown. I think it's the Mist. If it's not the Mist, it was a complete unit. It was basically the barrel is integrated with a can. It's a 16.5 inch total length, I think probably 8 to 8.5 inch barrel, and then 8 and a half inch of baffles, and then the barrel slides over it and then screws on to the like where the chamber and head spacing area is, and it's still a takedown, so you can still take it down, and it's dope as shit.
Well, Ruger made a factory integral suppressor part for the 1022 takedown, like a
Yeah,
factory Ruger suppressor.
yeah, that's what. So this was a whole factory gun from
Oh
Ruger.
hell yeah, dude!
Yeah,
That is like a bucket list gun right there. Just like a oh,
it's still a grand. It's still $1,000. But I
plus
mean,
the tax stamp or
I think it was $1,000 before the stamp. Yeah.
all right, yeah, that's still not that bad.
The other dope thing is that what they do is they port the barrel, so even when you run supersonics through it, it's still subsonic. It's still quiet as shit. I think that one may be the Mist. I got to be sure. Already got the Franklin binary trigger, so I'm actually waiting on a response from Franklin right now. I'm going to be putting my third binary trigger in the MP5K, which is going to be dope.
Just be is it you have the MP? It's an H and K though, right?
Correct. It's not the AR one.
No. It's like the MP5K is like, is it through Century?
It's imported by Sentry, but it's built by MKE.
All right, just be careful because I've noticed with the H and K ones, the MP5 ones, they don't work on certain variants. Like the Franken Armory stuff doesn't. The Franken Armory triggers don't work in a PTR. Like
Mm,
the PTR makes an MP5 clone rifle, and it doesn't work in that. But just be careful. I think you should be good if it's made by
MKE.
MKE. I kept wanting to say MPK. I'm like, no, that's not.
So these are the Biosafety Harbor Firearms. I'll see you in Shasta.
Bye, Walter. Have a good one, buddy.
Um, so the videos I've seen with the Franklin binary trigger in MP5s in this Century Arms AP5 have been solid. They've
Oh,
worked
sweet. Okay, good.
totally fine, but I didn't know that
Yeah.
that didn't work in the PTRs. Is it all the PTRs or just the let me adjust this real quick.
I have heard that it's more than one. I have talked to our Franklin Armory rep, and they say, yeah, they don't really work in the PTRs.
Yep. Yeah, the MKE is Turkish built.
But they're built. They like were trained on HK machines, though, aren't they? I thought something with MKE was like,
yeah, they're built on HK tooling.
Yeah, okay, that's what it was.
Yeah, yeah. Dark flexing on us with a 699 trigger. It is crazy expensive, but like in a full auto MP5 is $40,000, right? So
And
in
you're not you're not a Kennedy, okay?
yeah, no, we ain't going there. Even if well, even if I had a bank account with 45K liquid, totally separate of all my finances, and it was just chilling in there, and I could be like, I could spend it, I could not, I could whatever. I wouldn't dump 45K on the machine gun like that, and especially like let's say if we finally get some more positive movement in the United States, and they're like the NFA is ripped up and thrown in the trash, I would be so overjoyed, and I would be so pissed that I spent $45,000 on a $3,000 gun.
Yep, exactly.
That is what the ETF in the United States government wanted to do. They could see it from a mile away. They know simple supply and demand, and they know that when they make things unavailable but still lawful to purchase, they knew exactly what was going to happen.
Well, look at those guys. Look at that one. There's one dude out there that has pretty much been not the monopoly on the Stoner 63. So they made a select few of there's a select few of transferable Stoner 63 rifles. It's kind of loosely based off what the BRN went. It's like the Stoner 63 is supposed to be one of the smoothest shooting machine guns ever made.
And that's the pre-86 transfer.
Yeah, there was a select few. There's, from what I understand, because my source is Iraq veteran, because I watched a video when they were talking about machine guns and transferable stuff, and he has a replica Stoner 63. That's a semi-auto, and he was talking about it. And there's literally one guy that has I think 10 of them, and they are so valuable that that's his retirement. If he wanted to just sell them all, he could retire.
Yeah, I mean, I do know some folks like that have a bizarre amount of machine guns. Even if I don't know, I don't. And I know this sounds crazy when I say it, but I don't like money very much. I think
I'm the same way.
Yeah, money has fucking destroyed us as a country. Now, I'm not one of those guys that's I'm saying I don't like money just because I'm fucking broke, and I know a lot of people. You're just saying you're a poor. No, I'm saying that from a standpoint of what money has done, not only to the United States but to the world, where we're stuck in this world of consumerism, where you can press a button and have whatever you want in 24 hours or less sometimes, and we don't provide for ourselves anymore.
Yeah.
And it's fucking slavery.
Yeah, exactly. But also, here's the other thing too with the whole machine gun stuff. You think of it as the supply and demand has gone up.
Yeah.
Not just with that, not just with machine guns, especially with Massachusetts or any state that has to deal with unconstitutional laws. Anything now that if you're under an assault weapons ban or any type of roster or anything, your supply and demand is tripled the price of value.
Oh yeah.
Right now, you can private sale Glock Gen 3 Glock 19s. The running rate on those is about $750, $800.
But when you say private sale, you're saying
person to person transfer, not through an FFL.
Okay, so hold on. So you can do that in Massachusetts without FFL.
Yeah. If you get the frame, you can do it. Yeah, I believe how it is. You can do the frame, but you can get a Gen 2 from a shop. But even Gen 2s are pretty expensive.
What are Gen 2s going for?
I saw a Gen 2 23 go for $699 in the ballpark.
Okay, so let's say this. So let's say I go to my shop, I buy a Gen 2 17 for whatever, $350. And after 6 months, I'm like, hey, you know what? I got 40 Glocks. I don't need this. I'm gonna sell it to Joe in Massachusetts. Could I lawfully send that to your FFL?
Yeah.
Okay. But from a private So I was thinking you were going to say
I'm pretty sure with Gen 2s that could be transferred through an FFL. Yeah, I believe so. Yeah.
I'm blown away that you're saying that you could do a transaction in Massachusetts just privately
But
with
that
an FFL.
Yeah,
That's
well, that's the thing. What we have to do is we got to go online, and it's through the Massachusetts Gun Portal to do the transfer. You're allowed 4 personal transfers a year from licensee to licensee. And again, I think the gun had to be the Gen 3 had to be in the state. There's a couple more laws to it. I'm not again. If you're in Massachusetts, please read Massachusetts general law when it comes to firearms. But yeah, you can do that, but not even that. Now the pre-ban market. Okay, for me to get I live under two. Technically, we have 2 assault weapons bans in Massachusetts. We have
mm,
the assault weapons ban that was adopted after 1996 that mirrored the 94 ban, and then we also have the 2016 uh, enforcement notice, which was the Maura Healey ban, which is now she is now our governor. She was the attorney general, and now she just got governor.
okay. Walk
So
through the infringements here. So what the first assault weapons ban, like what does that mean?
So the first assault weapons ban pretty much mirrored the 1994 assault weapons ban. All
So
right.
threaded muzzles, bayonet
Yeah. A featureless rifle. You could, if you had a detachable magazine, our legislature allows us to have 2 evil features. So for us to have an detachable magazine and a pistol grip, we cannot have a bayonet leg. We cannot have a threaded muzzle. We cannot or a A2 bird cage. We cannot have a telescoping stock. And what else? We're not allowed. They don't allow us to have. Uh, Dude, oatmeal cream pies are the shit.
Aren't they? Sorry, I just had to show it off to. I showed them last time I was eating one, but okay, so you can have 2 of the evil features.
Yep. Yep.
Thing.
So if you have pistol grip and a detachable magazine or it's a semi-automatic that has the ability to take a detachable magazine greater than 10 rounds and a pistol grip, you have to pin the stock, and then you can't. And most guns that come with an A2 bird cage has to be taken off. We put a muzzle brake on there, and then we have to pin and weld it permanently to the barrel.
Okay, so could you pin and weld just like a thread protector on there?
Yeah, it's permanent because that would make it permanently affixed. You can't just easily unthread it.
Yeah, because I'm thinking like from the standpoint of like making modifications and changes, if you have something wider than the diameter of the barrel where the gas block is, you're gonna have to get that shit.
So yeah, so for instance, like high points, it's not cost effective for us to put a 9mm muzzle brake on a 9mm carbine. We
Sure.
can't get the pistols because they're not on the handgun roster, but the carbines we can. Sub 2Ks, if like for like 40 cals, it's really hard to find a 40 cal muzzle brake. I have to kind of drill through the thread cap and do it that way. Or what are other ones? Those are pretty much the only ones that I really got to deal with thread caps.
So what about the way AK like a Draco? Okay,
Nope,
Draco used to come in.
we're not allowed Dracos.
Yeah, no, those aren't allowed in mass. But the way that they used to come in is they would come in with a thread protector.
With a bead on the thread,
Yeah, literal weld.
and you had to just grind that bead off so you could unthread it. Yeah.
Well, if you wanted to remove the permanently, I mean, would they?
Well, then again, you had to do that. Then at that point, you have to worry about 922R compliance on that one.
Mm-hmm. But well, no, because that's a pistol. It
Oh,
doesn't
okay. Yep. You're right.
typically, yes, on an AK. But would that be compliant to Massachusetts?
So
A spot weld like that?
yeah, no, you can do a spot weld because again, that muzzle device or thread cap is permanently affixed, so it's not a threaded barrel. So you could do that. That's just for that's just one instance. Then you get down to the magazines. We have a 10-round capacity. We're only allowed 10 rounds. But if you get mags that were in the state prior to 1994 or 1996, they're considered pre-ban mags. Right now, the running rate on a pre-ban Glock 19 magazine is over $200.
What?
Yeah, yeah. MP5 mags, 300. If I want to get a 33 round Glock stick, I've seen those go up to $600 for a
Oh,
pre-ban and for a pre-ban Glock 30 round stick.
bro, that is crazy.
Yep. My
Oh,
P85 mags, I have 15 round pre-ban mags. They're like $90, 90 to $100 per 15 round pre-ban mag.
dude, that is crazy.
Yeah, the USGI standard 30 round mags for ARs, those are running about $60 a pop. Cape Gunworks has a ton of them in stock. Just throwing that out there if you're in Massachusetts. Shameless plug.
Well, yeah, and just in case people out there don't know, he is the head gunsmith at Cape Gunworks in Massachusetts. So he be smithing guns, y'all. So this is um, a lot of people don't know this, but are there ways that people can tell when magazines are manufactured?
Yep.
A lot of people don't know that.
Yep.
If
you can tell.
If anybody has magazines around them, maybe not Glocks. I mean,
Glocks with the U notch, or it's where you see the designation on the Glock. So if it says 9mm, very at the top of the feed lip, where it's hitting the follower, those are like post-ban mags. Pre-ban mags, the designation would be I don't even have all my mags are on the other side of the room.
I'll show you right now. I got a few different.
Yeah,
I got Leo Mill only. Which
pre-ban mags, the designation of the caliber is a little bit below, right where you start seeing the the viewing window on the back of a Glock mag.
Yeah,
where it says like 1, 2, 3, 4 going down all the way. Yeah. So that mag is considered a post-ban mag or a newly manufactured mag.
Yeah.
If that 9mm was about half an inch lower, that's how you tell it's a pre-ban mag.
And also the notch. So this is a square, which is Gen 3 or newer.
Yep. So if you have a U notch.
Yeah, if it was a U notch, typically it's pre-94, but not always.
Yeah.
Because there was like 94 to 96 before they, what was it? Or no, 96 to 98 was when they switched over to Gen 3, I think. Mm-hmm. But the U notch is usually pre 94. This is a square notch. I have a U notch around here.
I have pre-ban sleeves.
So this is a 94 mag.
Yep.
But it's not a U because it's marked. Because it's marked, that means it was after 94 during the ban. It was made. And it typically isn't in white where it says restricted to law enforcement and government. I just color filled that. But damn, I don't know where my U-notch mags. I got magazines all over the place. But for like AR mags, for an example, so you guys know, you can look at the manufacturing stamps where they're little circles, and the circles are a clock, and there'll be two of them. And well, I'll let you, as a gunsmith, I'll let you.
You can handle the mags, because on the AR mags, I'm a little bit. I always look for the base plate.
So there's a couple different things.
I look for the base plate. That's all I always look for.
Usually you can track Glock mags by if they have this, which is when they were going between Gen 3 and Gen 4. This piece of metal right here was when they were going to do an ambi. So every single one of their Glocks was going to have an ambi mag release from the factory, ambi, both sides, no matter what. They tried it with the 21 SF and it failed terribly. So then they switched it, but they still kept this this little notch right there on all their magazines. And then you can see an original like this, for an example, has no notch on the other side, it has one notch and no square, right? So just to show you guys, right? These are both factory Glock mags. They're just at different generations. This is a Gen 2, probably around 94, maybe 94, 95. But the AR mags, what they do is, number one, most Magpul mags, for example, actually have, here, let me go full screen on this.
They have dates on them.
Yeah, so they not only have cage numbers, and if they're issued, you'll see an EN number. So it's EN, patent, and then the website. All right. So you'll see, let me get some more light here. So you'll see the EN number at the top, right? And then as you look at the magazine, you'll see, hold on, let me see if I can see where's the clocks. There. So right under the 07, there's a clock. Now that clock right there has two hands on it, and it's too small to see here, but it shows the one hand showing a 5, and then behind it, it says 14. So that means this magazine was made May of 2014. And any police officer, well, most police officers that are trained can actually look at this and be like, this is from May of 2014. Why are you in possession of it? Oh, it's pre-ban. They'll be like, no, it's not.
And Kioski makes a good point. Some police officers probably don't understand the law, so it behooves any, especially people that live in places like Mass or California or New York or wherever that has to deal with these compliance laws. They have to be able to prove, no, I know what I'm talking about. These are I'm within my right to own this,
Yeah.
And I'm using air quotes. So
Come out in PETG, which is come out in PLA, makes a very good point. Who's to say it wasn't made in 1914? Excellent point. I'll use that. Now, luckily, I don't have to live under this scrutiny, but I know it's a real thing for people out there. So,
and then then you get into semi-automatic shotguns. So, under Massachusetts law and under the Massachusetts assault weapons ban, semi-automatic shotguns are, and if you say it has a pistol grip and it's semi-automatic, you are not allowed to have more than 5 rounds in a magazine tube. So it has to be plugged to not accept no more than 5 rounds. And you're not allowed to take, and when it comes to like mag-fed ones, you can't have more than 5 rounds in a mag, I believe. Or actually, I don't even think mag-fed semi-automatic shotguns are acceptable.
So you're saying just semi-auto. So like
a pump. Yeah, if it's a pump, doesn't matter.
I mean, have you seen someone that's very skilled run a pump gun before?
Have you seen Sherry Mitchell run a pump gun before?
Bro, I think I can run one fast. His daughter is like lightning fast. It's crazy. It's funny. I actually watched a short, and it was a YouTube short that was kind of making fun of the Modern Warfare 2 exaggerated reloads, and like everyone's in the comments like laughing about it. I'm like, fuck, that's like exactly how I reload. I like to kick out magazines. So when I reload, I usually, wonder if there's a way I can show this without getting flagged on YouTube. Probably not.
I wouldn't suggest it.
Yeah, I'll play it safe. So when I reload, let's say a handgun for an example, what I do is if you're firing, right? Once you go from boom to going to click, you bring the gun back to your workspace, but you keep it here so you can still look through your gun, right? And then when you push that magazine release, kick it out.
Yeah.
Because I was just talking to another guy who was like, I love my 19s. I love all my 19s, but my pinky gets hung up on the grip because he's got like massive hands. And every time he presses the button, his mag won't drop free because the meaty part of his hand he said he was getting caught on it.
Yeah, that happens to me.
Yeah. Especially if you got big mittens, it's going to happen, to most people. So I was like, yeah, I can help you. So I was like, what's up, Rusty Shackelford, Damien? Good to see you guys. I was like, yeah, what you do is when you press the mag release, kick that shit out, right? And then when you grab your reload, don't let go of that shit until it is in, right? Because how many times do you see people on a reload where they're trying to do it all smooth and shit, right? Where it's like you gotta have different steps to throw in a new magazine in an empty pistol. So a lot of times when you see guys trying to reload all quick, they'll throw it in and it'll get caught up at an angle and then like flip out like forwards or backwards or sideways, because your magazine can get caught like this, forward, backwards, and then it could jam up the round. It could move it to where the next time you go to load the magazine in, it's like this. All sorts of problems can happen. So what I was saying is, like, after you kick it out, right, you get a firm grip on your magazine, and then you put in the tip, just the tip, and you know for sure that it's in there. Then you drive it in, and then I like to give it another tap, and then rack it. I like to slingshot it. I don't usually use the magazine or the slide release. Like on a Glock, it's technically called a slide stop, because even Gaston Glock didn't believe that you should use that little tiny piece of metal to
tap, rack, bang. That's how I always do it.
Yeah, tap, rack, bang, right? But it's same thing for a rifle. So if I have a rifle shouldered, let's say it's slung up, right, and then the sling is coming over my shoulder to the front like third of the gun here, and I have it in my shoulder. When I press that magazine release, I'm kicking it. I'll kick it out to the side. And then with a rifle, though, what I'll usually do is when I draw my mag, I'll put it in, and then I'll pull it. I'll give it a tug to make sure it's in there. And then that's when I basically throw it in, whack it, and then go back to work. I don't like to push the button. I don't use my thumb to send it home. I literally palm that shit and just keep it moving.
Yeah. Fluffy Bunny Arsenal. Just to answer your question, a good way to do it is some people use like paint pens. You can do nail polish. I wouldn't recommend nail polish. You can get paint pens. To whatever you're trying to do, go over, and then get a good film over it. Get like some patches with like acetone or something like that to wipe off the excess. Let it dry, and then recoat. Do it again with the acetone, and you should get a nice color fill once it like goes over the area you're trying to color fill.
Yeah, this one right here, it's pretty clean. It's probably hard to tell, but it says restricted law enforcement government. You want to guess what I used for this one?
Would you use nail polish?
Mm-mm.
Would you use?
It's something that children usually use when they're coloring.
Crayons?
Use a white crayon.
Real? Okay, I've heard of that. I always saw you use like kind of like a not auto body paint pen, but like something of that type where again you clearing it out.
There's I don't know where my paint pens went. I got a pack of paint pens here, but yeah, those are great to use. The thing is that when people color fill, they're usually scared to go back over and bring a solvent over it, or something as like serious as like acetone. Yeah, but
you could use mineral spirits. You could use. I don't really recommend using denatured alcohol. Just be careful. Where be in a proper ventilated room when you're doing that, because you're dealing with kind of harsh chemicals.
Yeah. I have had this for close to a decade, and the fact that it's really only like 2 spots that have started to lose material, and I carry the shit. I mean, this right now it's going to the range, so it's got.
I was gonna say, unless you have Fort Scott munitions in there, bro, you're carrying Full Metal Jacket.
Yeah, no.
So first of all, you're saying you carry 357 SIG, and now you got Full Metal Jacket 9mm on you.
I actually don't carry the 357 SIG.
Well, you're smart.
I mean, I would, but I haven't. That gun hasn't proven itself to me yet. It will in time. But this is the battle worn gray that I did to match the battle worn light that I did. That's got FMJs in it. So what I do is I take a bunch of mags when I'm going to the range and I load them up. And I'm like, all right, I'm tired of taking an ammo can and a gun bag and guns in my backpack and guns in my waistband. It's just like a pain in the ass. So I'm like, all right, I'm just gonna load up a ass load of magazines and go with those.
Hey, it's always good to do.
Yep. I saw Fluffy Arsenal say that he uses crayons as well. That is what I usually use crayon. So you can use it. What you want to do is you literally color in it, and when you go through and you color it, basically the outside of the writing is going to chop the wax off, and you basically push it in, and then you take a solvent like some type of gun cleaner, Aegis maybe, and if you use what hashtag Joe Juice, they get
For 15% off your entire order.
There you go. So if you want to be like us and clean your guns with Aegis, you can do that, and you can get 15% off your order with code hashtag JoJuice. So there's a little plug there. But you can use a salt wipe over it and the rest of the shit, because it will all be dusty as hell when you use a crayon. Wipe it off, let it dry. As soon as all the solvent air dries, go back over it with a crayon and just kind of make sure it's like packed in tight. And that shit has stayed in really well.
Oh, that's great. Yeah, I don't really do a lot of color fill. For kinds of like Cerakote and stuff like that, we usually send it out. We have like 2 guns right now at Ford's Custom Refinishing in Florida, and they're gold plating in 1911 and a Walther PPK.
Nice. Ford's has done some excellent work for me. Ford's did the Chrome AK.
Yeah, dude, Ford's is legit. I loved every time they call. I love talking to them. They're so nice.
Who do you usually speak to there?
Carissa.
Yeah, I remember the chicks there were always
yeah, Carissa and Nikki. They're my homies.
They're almost all like family or friends of the family. So Ford's Custom Gun Refinishing also did this one.
Dude, that came out nice. Well, they're known for doing like high polish and gold plating on Desert Eagles.
Yep. And the dope thing about this, with the light, it looks super shiny, right? But the flats are polished, but you'll see that it's like it's a matte chrome on the rounds and in the inside the slide serrations, and the top. Here, let me cut this real quick. So it's high polish on the flats, and then a matte on the top.
Were you trying to recreate the Bad Boys 2 Glock?
Originally, oh my God, did we just get cut? You still there?
Yeah, I'm still here.
All right, it sounded like you got cut off for a second. No, so I actually did this before. I think it was it before the second Bad Boys? Maybe. I don't know. But I do love that style, but that also had a black barrel. For me,
yeah, it did.
If you're gonna do it, you got to go all the way. Now I do. I look. I appreciate the two-tone nature of a black frame, black barrel, right? Like that looks good, but I don't know. Those were. I think they were 17s, but they were. If it wasn't a 17, if it was a 22, whatever, it was a full size. I just personally like. Jesus, there we go. I just personally like the hard chrome. It's gorgeous, And this, okay, so with hard chrome, look at the top there. I mean, you can see it's got
the mirror finish right there.
It's it's not as
beautiful.
Bright. It is. It's very pretty. But how many rounds do you think have been through this with just that little line on the hood? How many rounds do you think has been through this?
Couple thousand.
I just broke 10,000 rounds of this thing.
Yeah, I was gonna say you definitely broke a couple thousand.
Yeah, because I mean that line right there, it's hard to tell in person.
That's how I know that. I know that line. I'm like, yeah, that barrel's been through a lot. Yeah. But speaking of slides, I have just purchased a Patmos Arms Judas slide for my
Yeah.
Glock 19. So now I am no longer rocking the Rock Slide USA slide.
Dude,
I was like, I thought we had an agreement that I'd send you the Rock Slide for you to review, and
I mean, I'm willing to. I'm gonna do a lot of bad stuff to it. If you want.
that slide already has about 4,000 rounds through it. So
Okay, you may change my mind if I throw, and I'll throw good parts in it.
and that's the thing. I have Rock Slide parts in my Judas slide. And I'm getting a dead trigger. The upper kit. I'm getting a dead trigger.
So it's probably not your slide parts.
Really?
Yeah. So there's a lot of different tolerances with different parts and different slides, and it's the connection between the cruciform and the striker, right? So there's a couple things you can do. The craziest thing is you could literally take a slide from another Glock and throw it on there, and it'll start working. It's just the compatibility of parts that are all different specs. There's no real like true spec. What kind of lower parts kit do you have in it?
Just the OEM.
Really?
Yeah.
And it worked with the Rock Slide.
Yeah.
But it's not working with the Judah at all.
Nope.
Okay. We can troubleshoot through a couple things. So it's probably going to be the connector, the cruciform, or the striker. That's basically it.
Yeah, because we have Zev parts, upper parts. I was gonna get a Zev striker and throw it in there, see if it worked.
If you can test it, it could be the striker, but it's not necessarily just the striker, because it's the relationship between the striker and the cruciform, right? Because the cruciform is what goes up and pulls it back, and then once it lets go, then it fires, right? So if that relationship isn't right, it could be off by this much, and it's just going to be dead. Like there's but it could be the striker. You can fiddle around with the striker. The first thing I would do though is I can, if you want offline, I'll run you through kind of like a what do you call it?
Troubleshooting guide.
Troubleshooting. Thank you. Yeah, like troubleshooting, just to kind of see what it is. But it's typically cruciform connector, cruciform, striker.
Yeah, I like the Judas slide because it has better slide serrations than the Rock Slide, and it took my Meprolite sights so easy. Sometimes it's hard to push sights through new slides, and it's much sleeker. I got a new holster on the way for it, and I can't wait to try it out. And I'm gonna be putting my TLR 1 on there. I'm still not throwing a red dot on my carry gun yet, so I haven't upgraded that, but I'm excited. I like it.
Yeah, I mean, do you want to rock a light on your carry gun?
Yeah, I'm liking the light because I've been running the light on my M&P 1.0, and I've been really liking that. I have the Stoger STR9 optics ready, and I've tried a light on that, and I really like that. That might end up being my carry gun, to be quite honest, because I'm very accurate with it. But I like the tried and true Glock 19. Like, it's the best carry gun, in my opinion. Mag compatibility is awesome.
It could be rails too, but these are both factory frames, right?
Yes.
Or it's on a factory frame. Yeah.
Yeah, it's on a factory frame.
Yeah. But with the P80, definitely it could be. Can't wait for the vid showing your adventures with it, Dark. For which one? Oh, yeah, I guess we got to work it out because I don't want to just take it for free.
Don't worry about it. I don't care.
We can work something out. Article 4, Section 2, Clause 1, the citizens of each state shall be entitled to the privileges and immunities as citizens in the several states. Striker spring position on the inserts. Yeah, the spacing on the connector can mess things up a lot. How do you go on? Okay, so the 43 is much, much, much less forgiving because size, I mean, it's so much smaller, right? Like, even like people have issues with Glock builds all the time. And think of it like this: the tolerances for a 43,
Is
like,
now squished.
yeah, I mean, it's even worse. And with a connector, what a lot of people don't know is that if a connector is, so when they push a connector in and it's slightly bent like this, it's actually supposed to be. And people try to push it in or pull it out, they fuck with it when they shouldn't. Well, if a connector is bent out more or too much, it will not fire. It'll give you a dead trigger.
But if you push the connector the other way,
Then it will only fire shots, as in bang, 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 as long as the trigger is being pulled. So
that happened to me. That happened to me on a 17. No, it was a 34, and it went binary. And I'm like, so this connector is not going in there.
yep, it'll go binary. It'll go full auto, and just don't. Okay, so
And that's not saying we're not telling you how to make your gun go full auto. It's more of just
it's a gunsmithing accident.
yeah.
Basically.
It's a tolerance accident, and
Yeah,
that is just the byproduct of it. I
that's
just want to make that perfectly clear. So if YouTube's listening out there, we're discussing a accident and an effect of working on your firearms.
yeah, and it wouldn't just fire and mag dump when you close the slide, because your finger would have to pull the trigger for the shark fin to push up the plunger safety in the slide for the striker to be able to go through. But the crazy thing is, like in the 43, I built a 43 that was full auto.
Yeah, and that's the thing, and that it's just how it happens when you're installing new parts. So again, I can't stress this enough. Anybody out there, we're not telling people how to do that. It's just it can happen.
Yeah. My first Glock 26 used to yeet off multiple rounds randomly. LMFAO. Good times. Accidentally awesome. Laughed my ass off. Yeah. Just kidding. I hate the Glock 18. Okay, so it's not safe, right?
Yeah,
Like,
it's not. No.
one moment you'll hold down the trigger and one will go off. The next moment you pull the trigger and release and two will go off. The next moment the entire mag will go. Like, it is so unpredictable and unsafe. It's crazy.
Yeah,
It's
that's the thing. You no matter what, you're learning tolerance stacking essentially when you're working on firearms, and it's how you got to know what is safe and what is reliable and what is the proper way to do things. So just keep that in mind and don't freak out. You're not going to jail. It's just bring it to a gunsmith to have it fixed.
if you're an 0702 SOT, like Come Out in PLA has referenced, there are more reliable ways to convert a Glock, but we're not talking about that today.
No, we're not doing that. We're not going to jail.
Yeah. FYI, YouTube stops listening in 2 hours. Most of the viewers probably do too.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm looking out for you, dude. I don't want your
No,
stream getting kicked, and I'm like, I can't believe when we started talking about it, I'm like, maybe we shouldn't talk about that. But I'm like,
dude,
yeah, Dark's talked about other stuff on here, though. It's probably a little bit
dude,
worse.
on my stream, I gave them an erythritol tetranitrate recipe. Like, that shit's detonating at almost 7,000 meters per second, by the way.
I have no clue what that is, and you know what? Let's just not bring that up. How about that?
Well, it's fascinating. I'll say that it's fascinating. The reason it's fascinating is because erythritol. What's up, turkeys? We got Jason Ewing, Killswitch Customs. He said, "Oh boy, good timing." Yeah, we're talking about how to accidentally not turn your Glock into a machine gun, and also for safety, of course. But I'm dead ass serious. I'm not being funny. It is unreliable. It is unsafe, and you'll shoot your balls off. So don't do it.
Yeah, Z question mark bolt action Glock 19. You ever see that video of the guy who made one, and it was
the multicolor one?
yeah,
Yep.
dude, That thing was cool. I don't
Yeah,
know if it was 3D printed or just machined like that.
it was 3D printed, and it was registered in California, and he did it with a serialized dog tag that he had serialized, and then he in the G code, it stopped printing at a certain point, and then he literally slid the dog tag in, and then it 3D printed over it. And also there was a couple things. I think he added the bolt and all that. Like, it's a super excessive knob and all that. I think it was for the weight, because there's
Oh
uh
wait, oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah, for the Undetectable Pistols Act or whatever it is. um Bacon, what's up? Dark, did you order your bamboo yet? And I'm not ready to order a bamboo yet right now, man.
Dude, Rich is telling me his bamboo is like freaking amazing. I'm still happy with my tried and true and Ender 3. Granted, I have a ton of upgrades on this bitch now. So
And you
I'm
still got it running on the fridge.
yes, I do.
That's dope. Well, no, when we talked, you were like, "Man, should I put this on the fridge?" I was like, "I don't know if it's gonna work out, bro." But you've honestly like got you know, a lot of filament through that thing.
Yeah, dude, I have like a reusable bag overflowing of filaments, like of
Nice.
all different lengths. Like I have one spool that has like at best 10, like 2 feet worth of filament on there, and then I have a couple. Like I have a full spool of PLA plus that I'm just having some issues with, but I just upgraded my nozzle not too long ago, and
Okay.
it's made to like deal with more like tougher, like have much easier printing with like different filament. And
Okay.
I'm only going between PLA and PLA plus right now. I have some silk PLA that I'm still trying to work the kinks out, but it's mostly just regular PLA. But my favorite upgrade is that PEI build plate. I love that build plate.
Yeah. Yeah.
No
Yeah.
more glue.
Yeah, no, I don't like glue sticks. It's not my thing. I know a lot of people do that. It's just not my thing personally. Um, hardened steel nozzle or plated?
Mine is a mixture of a hardened steel with it's hardened steel with brass infused almost. I forget what the hell it's called. Actually, hold on, I got it right over here. Hold on.
Too Rich, what up? I don't think I've seen you here before. Welcome. Um, the GD Bacon, what's up, brother? And yes, there are other ways to achieve the desired results reliably, especially if you're an 0702 SOT manufacturer.
This is Now this is only the best that Micro Center has to offer. It's the
Mike McClune, what's up, brother?
yeah, that's what it is.
Hold on, I'll put you on big mode. Micro Swiss A2 plated wear resistant nozzle.
And I upgraded to the 6 millimeter nozzle, which I've had so much better luck with the 6 millimeter over the or 0.6 over the 0.4.
Yeah, yeah. 0.6 is the way to go.
Yeah.
So I have zero desire to contract with the feds next year. Yeah. I'm just saying it to not get my fucking door kicked in. But speaking of getting doors kicked in, what I was saying was that the reason that ETN, aka erythritol tetranitrate, is so fascinating is because it's an explosive that is detonating at nearly 7,000 meters per second, which is equivalent to trinitral toluene, as other people know it as TNT, and dynamite, right? And the fascinating thing here is that erythritol is fake sugar. You can literally go to the grocery store and buy a bag of erythritol, which is an artificial sweetener, and you can nitrate it by using ammonium nitrate and sulfuric acid.
Yeah.
You can do so in an ice bath, keeping it 10 to 15 degrees Celsius, and you can use a magnetic stir to stir it into almost.
Well, we don't gotta tell them exactly how to do that because
I'm sure that they'll only follow all federal, state laws, regulations, rules, restrictions, sanctions, and
yeah, I'm not looking to get. I don't want your dog getting kicked in. That's why. I'm just looking out for you, my friend.
yeah, no, it's. I mean, it's you know, um, stump remover. So stump remover is potassium nitrate. I'm probably for a flash powder. I'm probably going to move over to potassium perchlorate because it's got a little more oomph to it. Let's see. They're going to ban a salt sugar. Yeah, right. I mean, honestly, at this point, like, look, they've done crazier things for less, right? And I'm
Well,
not.
California didn't California ban like certain artificial sweeteners anyway for like so kids would stop getting so hefty. They did something stupid where they like got rid of like
Probably I mean, look, they created Prop 65, right? Which like
was Prop 65.
every single thing in the world that has a label says Prop 65. This this causes cancer on everything.
Oh, okay, yeah.
It's made in a factory that emits carbon dioxide that causes cancer, or whatever it is. Like almost every single thing I could find, every single thing on my desk, and it's got a Prop 65 warning on it. Let's see.
Of course, you grab Pop Tarts of all things.
Those actually those are my daughters. She loves the cookies and cream Pop Tarts.
Well, you got to get her onto the wild berry, dude. The wild berry is the best Pop Tart out there.
Purple with the blue.
Yeah, yep.
Yep, those are dope. But the s'mores and the cookies,
s'mores.
Those are fine. Those are fine.
Agreed.
Correct. California causes cancer. This is true.
It does.
I found some DADP for New Year's. It was fun. DADP, is that similar to
Dad pee? Does that involve your PWEDC?
That's ones. S'mores. If you like the s'mores ones, then give the cookies and cream one. It's so fun from giving people 7,000 meter per second explosive recipes to talking about Pop Tarts.
Yo, I'm trying to make sure you don't get your door kicked in.
But well, it's totally legal. It's just talking about
that out.
Damn, bro.
Samurai mask. Ooh.
I need something like that, dude.
I'll send you the file.
For real?
Oh yeah, dude. This took me 22 hours, and I printed with tree supports, and my print speed was like 50%. I didn't go too crazy on the print speed. This is
Cura.
Yeah.
God bless America.
What's wrong with Cura?
Oh, nothing. It's good. It's good. I slicer. I'm just saying.
I watched a couple of the 3D printing YouTube channels, and they were just like, get started with Cura, you'll be fine.
Yeah, no, Cura is great. Cura tree supports is awesome, and I support Cura. I'm just being a prick.
You're being a snob.
I mean, not really a snob. The only reason I'm using Prusa is because I was having glitches on my machine with Cura, and it was just a total pain in the ass. So I gave up, and I was like, all right, I'm going to get Prusa so I can literally print right now. So
what do you have to pay for Prusa?
No.
Oh, I thought you had to pay for it. That's why I didn't get it.
Nope. Prusa slicer is good. Honestly, stick with Cura. Whatever you learn on is
I like Cura. I want to get into like mesh mixers, so if I start printing like bigger helmets, I can cut up the helmets so it fits in my Ender 3. I keep thinking, I'm like, because I was talking to Rich and he's like, dude, you could get like an Ender 7 with like a larger build plate. Because I looked into the CR10 Max and that's like $1,000 printer, and I'm like, no,
dude.
I could buy a Kalashnikov KR9 rifle for $1,000.
Yeah. But I mean, there is something special about like a printer. Getting a printer running is unlimited firearms, right? Like if I upgrade, I know I can do it on my Ender 3, but if I upgrade to like Bamboo PIP or P1P, it would be like I'd have a field day. I would do like mac and cheese. I would do the Obsidian, which is the 3D printed Mac upper. I mean, the whole thing. 1776 Supply Co. or Freedom Dev Team. They just launched the Lotus, which is the. I don't know if you guys have seen the. Oh, what's it called? I can't believe I'm going to forget the name. Basically, there was a lower. Oh my God, how am I going to forget the name? What the fuck? It's a Mac project with it's remixed and Scarab. It's the Scarab that had a non-vertical foregrip, which it's still don't print it with a foregrip, y'all. And you could put a Mac upper on it. But this model, the Lotus, aka the Glotus for everybody out there, you can actually print the Obsidian upper and use the 3D printed upper on this Lotus, which is the Scarab. It's a remixed Scarab to take the Lotus upper, which is the Obsidian 3D printed Mac upper.
Yeah, so if there was a question out there which I don't understand, but I don't print frames on mine because in Massachusetts printing frames is frowned upon, and it defeats the purpose of doing it because in Massachusetts, from making a firearm, you have 7 days to register it, and they do require serial numbers on that stuff. So I'm all set. I'm not that defeats the purpose of it, and I don't want to deal with the BS. So
that's the other thing I wanted to bring up is the 3D printing aspect of being mass compliant. So when you whether it's in 80% now they're technically firearms from what people are saying what the ATF said, but let's say it was pre the open letter. If you drilled an 80 or if you printed a firearm or frame rather, you have 7 days to report to the state.
Yeah, you have to do that for handguns and I believe rifles. We have to do it on anything if you're like, especially 80s. But if like say you buy like a serialized receiver, from the time you're able to complete a firearm where it goes bang, you have 7 days to declare it with the state of Massachusetts, where you kind of like essentially register it. It's not a registry, and it's kind of like a tongue-in-cheek registry. It's you just go on the Massachusetts firearms portal and type the serial number of the receiver in and barrel length and all that stuff. But obviously you do a 4473 in the receiver. But with the 80 stuff, same thing, but they required you to put some type of marking or serial number on it. Now with the new rule change, it's a little bit more complicated.
Yeah, because I mean it's already a firearm, right? So, and this crazy thing is like before, like I used to do classes, or I did classes before where the great state of Jefferson. If YouTube respected the Constitution, oh yeah, please don't expect YouTube to appreciate the Constitution, because YouTube, aka Alphabet, Google and YouTube, are literally in bed and working with and for the United States government to break our rights that are supposed to be protected by the Constitution. There ain't no way. It is a registry. That's exactly what he's saying.
Yeah, but yeah, no. Oh, thank you, Kurt24. I appreciate it. Yeah, that's my 3D printing channel. It's pretty much all shorts of just showing stuff what I print. I'm hoping to make like full-length videos right now, just to see. I'm trying to see how many I can get just on shorts because I'm getting really good views on the shorts. But I'm showing stuff like I printed the samurai mask. I'm really into printing a lot of stuff from Cindawing 3D. She's a developer on Colts 3D with like articulating dragons and bunch of cool shit. Like the other day I was running out of room, so I printed this little lighter and cigar cutter organizer for my desk. Like useful stuff like that. I'm into some cosplay stuff, just kind of cool shit.
Susan WikiWiki, what a proper garden tool. Yeah, agreed. So question. I don't think I've ever heard you get into like your thoughts on like politics and like some of your like beliefs and stuff like that. So what are like? Tell me about some of your outlooks and some of your beliefs, like politically and all that.
So here's where I'm at. I think the whole system, they're corrupt on both sides.
Fuck yeah.
I don't. I I'm registered as a Republican because I didn't. I just recently was remembered I was registered as a Democrat.
Mm,
But I again, I vote for the Constitution. I vote for who is more pro gun and who's the lesser of two evils. I just recently found out that I had for in order for me to vote in a primary, I had and for me to vote for because I'm sorry, I've yet to see a pro gun Democrat. I can't vote in a primary, so I had to change my political party to Republican so I could try and vote more towards the Constitution. Um, so I am registered as a Republican, but there's certain things that I agree with and don't agree with.
hmm
I'm more of a constitutionalist. I'm a constitutionalist through and through. Like the Constitution is the law of the land. I feel that uh, there's that meme out there that is I just want people to what is it? I want gay people to guard their marijuana fields with M240 Bravos and to be left the hell alone or something like that. Like I think there's way too many laws in the books personally.
Yeah.
If I'm not doing anything moral, I have a very strong moral compass. Like I've never been arrested. I've had a few parking tickets, but like I'm kind of a goody two shoes kid. But at the same time, is I don't do anything wrong. I don't break the law. I do everything I can to follow the law, the Constitution, and what my state law is and federal laws and stuff like that.
But one question though: Does an individual breaking the law mean that they're immoral?
No, there's a gray area. There is a gray area in that, but it depends on what it is. Um, that's just how I am. Um, as long as you're not hurting anybody. But then again, that can also be misconstrued because, yeah, it just depends personally. But yeah, I'm pretty much of the belief as long as I'm not killing anybody or I'm not doing something that will cause harm in bodily harm or mental harm or anything like that, I should be left the hell alone. I should
Yeah.
be able to, especially in terms of firearms. I don't agree with assault weapon bans. I don't agree with red flag laws. I don't agree with any of that. I think it's completely unconstitutional. Especially with the whole, even with our discussion of this frames and receiver rule. I personally think private manufacturing firearms is it's how this country started. Like
Yeah.
making muskets and stuff like that. There's some great developers out there making great designs, and with legislation coming up like this, it hurts a lot of people like that who could be the next John Browning or the next Gaston Glock. Um, I just feel that there's way too much overreach. I have lost faith in the voting system. I
Yeah.
don't. I'm still gonna vote because that's how I get my voice heard. But it's like, okay, let's see how they're gonna fuck it up.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm at this point, I'm almost just voting just so one, just to make me feel a little bit better,
Yeah,
and two, just so I can't complain.
exactly. And
Y-
that's the thing. That's what I tell people too. All right, listen, if you don't vote, you have no right to complain.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. As I value the right of, I love being American. I love being I take pride in being a patriot. I
Yeah.
love my country. But you can see faults. Um, no one's ever going to agree 100%. Everyone is always going to. There's sometimes people disagree on one or two small things that doesn't make them a bad person. But at the same time, I wouldn't inflict my beliefs on somebody and force my beliefs on somebody. I don't agree with that.
So there's never mind. Probably shouldn't say it. So if there was a religion out there that said like convert or die, you probably wouldn't be a believer in that religion.
No, that's like some cult shit that I personally don't believe in. Again, I don't care whatever is it. This is how I feel. If you're as long as you're not a douchebag,
I
part
was
of
just
my French, like part of my French, like
omelette du fromage.
yeah, don't be a dick. Okay, I don't
Mhm.
care. Like I'm one of the most accepting people in the world, but also that I many people have said I have the best bullshit meter on God's green earth. And g- uh, if that meter goes off, it's kind of like a spidey sense. I'm like I'm not. I It turns me off. Like
Yeah,
if I feel you're lying to me, if I feel that I'm being
like play.
lied to, if I'm being played, I'll know. And I usually pretty right when I trust my gut.
Yeah.
And I just I distance and I look from afar.
All right. So yeah. So that was a
Oh my god.
for radical Islam. I mean, the reason I said that is because he was mentioning because of the conversation we were having, and their holy book does say, um, technically they're talking about combatants, right? They're
Yeah,
talking.
I don't. I know what you're talking about. That I don't agree with that, but I'm not going to shame someone for believing that, for practicing that religion. Like
Yeah,
like
what? And I would fight and die for their ability to do that.
exactly. This country was started for people that want to pursue religious freedoms and actually have freedom of speech and freedom of religion. Okay, like there was that's one of the beauties of being an American citizen. Like not religious persecution. Like
Yeah,
you can believe who you want. Um, but at the same time, I'm not going to push my beliefs on somebody, even when it comes to being pro gun. I've met a lot of people that are anti-gun. I went to high school with a lot of people that are anti-gun now, and trying to explain what I do to work at a friend's wedding when we're all kind of having a good time, and all of a sudden it slips out that I work in the firearms industry. That's a conversation that it's like I could tell they're not about guns, not about them at all.
mm,
And they had questions. I answered them. I didn't push my beliefs on them. And that's not what you do, because if you do that, that's how you turn more people anti-gun. You're doing more harm than good.
yeah. I think in situations like that, you gotta read the situation, and it's when others push their beliefs on you. Then I think the most appropriate thing to do is to ask questions, very carefully crafted questions, to get them to respond, because there's certain arguments that they will stick to. Most of
Yeah.
them are the headlines or shit that you
Mhm.
see on CNN, MSNBC, NBC, and all that shit. And when you can get them into a place where you ask them a question that if they have not researched enough, that they just cannot come up with an answer, the magical thing that happens is that they start to question their own beliefs without you doing anything, right? You just ask them a question, and when they can't come up with the information, typically that's when I see the most change, is when they're like, oh my God, I can't substantiate what I'm saying my beliefs are. And that's like an intense moment. So that's why I say all the time, be kind, right? Live a life of character.
Yeah. Yeah. And if more people did that, I think we'd have a lot less problems. Like I, I've seen it all. I've dealt with a lot of different types of people in my life, and you know what? There's my whole mentality, especially recently, what I've gone through in my personal life. Life is too damn short to be arguing over stupid shit that that the media and the government find more ways to divide us in more ways than one.
Yeah.
It's if you're a good person, okay, I don't care. But if you, my lines in the sand, if you threaten my family, my friends, my loved ones, you hurt children, men, women, or children, I have no use for you, and I don't think that that's my line in the sand, especially with people hurting children. And I'll be quite honest, I'm not a kids person, but that you don't hurt men, women, or children, and I don't tolerate that, and I think those people should not be around. If you catch my drift, I don't fuck with
What
that.
about small animals? I'm just kidding.
Yeah,
I'm just,
no. Still, you hurt dogs.
yeah.
Oh, you're dead. I
Oh,
go Liam Neeson. I go Liam Neeson.
yeah.
If I ever had a dog and someone like hurt or killed my dog, it would be taken 5. I would skip 4 and just go right to 5.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm with you. I'm with you.
and naughty heathen. No, I did not serve. I I was told I was too fat to serve in the U.S. military.
Oh, nice. Me too.
Yeah, I was 425, and I had a bad knee, and my BMI in my neck alone, they wouldn't take me.
You were 425?
Yeah, I was 425 when I graduated high school.
425 pounds?
Yeah, I was big dude.
Fudge brownie.
Yeah, I just lost 40 pounds too. So,
Oh yeah. Oh
yeah, I gained a little bit back, and then life took a serious turn, and stress is it's a byproduct of losing 40 pounds in about 6 months.
Well, desserts, right? Desserts. Have you ever seen what the word desserts spelled backwards is?
Stress.
Yeah, stress.
Yeah.
How it works like that. So you've seen. I'm sure you're not necessarily like a Trump lover, right? But what are your thoughts on Trump? And yes, I'm not a Trump guy or whatever. I'm taking this somewhere, y'all. So bear with me.
Okay. All right. I kind of have a feeling where you're taking this. So okay.
Real quick, let me just say this. I too agree with what SGNE said. These are both two sides. Both. It's a two-headed snake, right? Both sides are evil. Both sides are corrupt. Both sides torture us and take our freedom, liberty, and privacy every single day. I don't support either side, and I fucking it's all a joke and a scam. But I'm just saying I want to take this somewhere. So, what are your thoughts on
the T-Man?
Yeah.
I will say I voted for him 3 out of the 4 times. I'm not a fan of his two-way policy. I feel he could have done a lot more. I did not like what he said about the take the guns first and ask questions later. I did not like that. But I was actually a fan of a lot of his policies. To give reference, I worked in the trades when he got in, and we were working. We didn't have a lot of work. Within 3 months of him being in presidency, me and my dad, who went through a really tough time looking for work at one point, we were booked out. The economy was pretty bad. And then when Trump got in, I will say the economy was pretty good. I did like I liked the fact that he was very, very welcoming to the veterans. I have a lot of respect for veterans and the fact that he took care of them. I liked a lot of his policies. So I am kind of a Trump man.
Keep going.
Yeah, no, I am a I am a Trump man. I do like his policies. I liked a lot of his policies. I like the fact that he was the first sitting president within, I think, 45, 50 years to walk into North Korea, and he wanted to make peace throughout the entire world. Did his best. I don't also kind of helped me open my eyes to the media and to question stuff. But again, I'm not going to agree with everything the guy did, but I will say I was, I did like a lot of the things he did.
Yeah, so I'm with you. I agree. I voted for him as well several times, and I also I think the way that he treated people in the 2A community was trickery.
Yeah, I was not a fan of that.
Yeah,
I will say, I think the NRA did a lot of. I didn't agree how the NRA made him be like this, like 2A Jesus,
yeah.
and the first bit of 2A legislation he passed and or even talks about is the bump stock ban. Don't agree with that at all. Um,
But
I think if he had a second term, I would have liked to see what he did to kind of make up for it. But
yeah,
I am a fan of Trump. I voted for him.
yeah. You voted for him like 30, probably nowadays with
Yeah, exactly. No, I think it was up for the originally before he got the nomination. I was actually a Ted Cruz guy. Um, and then once Trump got the nomination, I kind of was like, I looked into it. I'm like, all right. And again, he was touted to be like this, like pro 2A Jesus and all that shit. And I
the
just,
your assault on your Second Amendment rights are now over.
and
That's,
then,
that's
yeah,
what he's. Yeah,
yeah.
but
But I'm not, but again, I'm not saying I hate I'm like, I was not a fan of him. No, I voted for him. I'm actually a very big Trump supporter. But again, I don't agree with that.
But in this, so I agree with you, and I'm with you, and I think most people would likely agree with you. And the interesting thing is that, we vote for people like that, like you said, kind of the lesser of two evils, not only because we think, okay, this will be less of an assault on our natural rights, but also because our lives typically tend to be most convenient under administrations like that, financially, with gas, with shopping, with the lack of inflation, with domestic power. Like, bro, the like, I couldn't even write a book. It's crazy to say that a new administration came in, shut down all domestic forms of creating like the pipelines, the oil. Like, you literally shut down all domestic forms of creating energy infrastructure. You shut them down, and then you're like, oh my god, we're in a fuel crisis. Well, no shit, you did this, right? And this, but anyway, so sorry. So that's Uncle Slow Joe. But the thing is that Trump was crucified in the press. He was treated unfairly. It's just that our lives tend to be the most comfortable under administrations like that. And comfort doesn't necessarily bring us good things or any forward movement in the advocacy for our rights that are supposed to be protected by the Second Amendment. And the thing that I wanted to bring up was, they were constantly trying to fuck him over. They were constantly trying to agree, even all presidents are garbage. They were constantly trying to drag him through the mud, constantly trying to impeach him, constantly just, whatever. I mean, it was the boogeyman at this point.
Yeah.
Every
And I just want to clarify something like the statement all presidents are garbage. I actually respect the office of the president, regardless of whether if I care for if I like the person in office or not. I respect the office of it. Um, just wanted to clarify that.
You mean
It's
like physical, like the wood or the carpet?
no. Like what the what the title of president of the United States stands for. Like,
I think what it's supposed to mean, what it's supposed to stand for, and what it's supposed to create and provide for the people. I'd agree with you. I respect the idea that has since been completely trampled on, destroyed, and I respect the idea of what it's supposed to be. I just don't think it's that anymore. But one of the things that I think that's kind of it sticks out most in my head is one of the things that they tried to fuck him for, Trump, was the documents, right? The documents of Mar-a-Lago, the documents that these sensitive documents that, whatever. What do you feel about Trump being in possession of sensitive documents outside of the White House?
Well, I have questions. You know, any normal, or sorry, not normal, reasonably thinking person would say, why did he have those documents? Obviously, I'd want to know what type of documents they were. Um, what is his plan down the road with them? Like, why would he have them there? Were they kept under secure conditions? I have questions. I don't watch. I'll be quite honest. This might actually help the discussion. I don't watch the media. I don't follow the news. I have been disconnected from all mainstream media and news outlets and everything like that since about 2015. I just it's depressing to me. I can see the lies, so I rarely know what's going on. I am so removed that I'm just like, eh.
Well, no, I mean it's kind of good because one of the things that I wanted to bring up was they were basically trying to destroy him and his life and everything and
Yeah,
everyone because of these documents, which he technically did have like lawful reasons to, like he had clearance to see the documents, have the documents, even if they weren't kept for in the way that everyone else in the world thinks that they should have been. Like, it's like whatever,
I personally would. Uh,
left,
um,
right butt cheek, shite still comes out of it. Very true.
yeah.
But
Um,
the thing is that our I don't even want to call it our Brandon was just caught with a whole bunch of fucking documents at his house in Delaware as well. Not to mention, like somebody else mentioned, all the documents that like Hillary Clinton, uh,
burned,
yeah,
bleached.
bleached the whole fucking computer, like
Yeah.
all this shit, right? I mean, there's fucking corruption all
Yeah,
over.
and that's the thing. And I don't like corruption. I I have a big problem with that, and I just kind of there's a lot of things I not call bullshit on, but I question because I it's more of okay, how further down the road, and it turns into you're viewed as conspiracy theorist. No, it's I have questions, and then when you really look into certain shit, it's like, all right, like.
Things are not always as they seem. That's for sure. Shout out to Farmer James's mom's birthday. Happy birthday to.
Happy birthday.
Should we sing happy birthday to her?
I'm not a singer, so
Either. That's why it would be so funny.
I mean, I used to spit some bars when I was in high school. So
Yeah.
I thought I was going to be the next Little Wayne in high school, but those days are far behind me.
All right, go for it. I'll drop a beat.
Nah, 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 I couldn't do that. But happy birthday to the mother of Farmer James.
Yeah. Happy birthday, Farmer James's mom. Okay, so my thought is here is it's kind of funny that they stick on this one thing, and this I think even though the left and the right thing is fake and it's made to create the bifurcation of our country where we hate each other and fight with each other. So because we're so busy fighting with each other and disliking each other, we don't notice what the government is doing to us.
Exactly.
But
Exactly.
this person needs to fry because they did this one thing, right? And then the person that they stand behind goes and goes and does it, and then it's like, oh, nothing happened here. I think this is very easily explainable. He's allowed to be in possession. It's like, bro, what the fuck, really? It's the same shit. Like,
Yeah, and that's the thing. It's look at the diversion over here while all this other shit is going on that is being blocked by this small diversion. And it's like
yeah, I'm wondering what.
I'm starting to see through it more and more. So when I see it, I'm like, okay, what's the play here? Like, and I don't want to think like that. Um, as long as I feel that they should get down more to the root of our country and help people that are struggling. Um, make sure that we're safe, whether it be border safety or whatever the f is going on in the world. Um, make it so that people with children don't have to stress paycheck to paycheck getting a gallon of milk for their children. Um,
Well, right now, because of what this current administration has done, they have literally impacted every single. It's seeming to be on purpose at this point.
Yeah, and again, I can't stress this enough. I came from a very lower class family. Like my
Yeah,
mom was a nurse and my dad was a paint contractor. I didn't grow up. I grew up in a very small town, so I know struggle. All right, like I
I'm with.
that's what was always bigger. That was always a bigger issue with me is seeing families struggle, just try to put food on the table, paying their bills, putting electric, get electricity, make sure electricity's on, make sure there's gas in all the cars, make sure kids got clothes on their backs. That's what, I think should be
Yeah,
more of an issue.
I feel you. I'm the youngest of 5 kids. It
Yeah,
was,
yeah. So you get it. Yeah.
yeah, it was. I mean, even it's definitely. I don't know. I'm a little torn on that, right? Because I don't want to.
I'm not saying that the government should be paying everything, but also maybe there should be things in place where it makes it easier for people to provide for families.
Yeah,
That's just how I think.
maybe something like communism. I'm just
No,
kidding.
no,
Uh,
the
I,
exact opposite.
I
I am a firm
think
believer of the American dream,
creating
and
opportunities.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, yeah, it's different. I mean, I think creating opportunities for people is fair and good and positive. And I think honestly, this has been one of the most challenging like last 3 years of my like personal life. And I think it's important for anyone that's going through challenges like that, just fucking find a way to take charge and make changes because the moment
Exactly.
that I started, making positive changes in my life, that's when you know, I just took charge, said fuck it, and I lost a lot of things going through that. But I don't know. It's a whole other conversation. But I just wanted to point out the fact that like this fucking game of the left and the right, right? It's the same thing. What they're doing, what they did to Trump. Which I'm not saying I fuck with Trump at all. I'm just saying that when people like us vote for Trump, we're usually doing it because that is either the less negative impact on our life to choose that route, or maybe more comfort, more of a positive impact on our life to go that route and vote for somebody like that. But they're literally holding somebody to a different level of accountability, holding Trump to an extreme level of accountability, and holding this fuck Joe to a completely different level of accountability, zero accountability, is the same thing that they did. And is the government's fucking so well known for this, is in the Miller case with the sawed-off shotgun in the 1930s, they had said, oh, your sawed-off shotgun is not protected by the Second Amendment because it is not a firearm that is used by military currently. So because it's the militia and it's not a firearm that's used in the military, your God-given rights are not that's doesn't protect you, right? And then now fast forward to 80, 90 years later, or 70, 80, whatever, ish, they're like, oh, you guys shouldn't have those guns because they're similar to military firearms. They're always gonna find a way to fucking switch it on us. And yeah, we are. I mean, we're slaves. Most of us are. But here's the challenge. So I went so long basically taking the black pill. It took me down to a really fucking low, dark place that was not good or healthy for me.
What
And
do you mean by taking the black pill? Is that like?
the black pill is basically like going down all of these like conspiracies.
Oh, okay, okay,
The
yeah, I get what you're saying. Okay, yep, that makes
the
sense.
government. So one of my sayings is the government hates you and wants you dead. And
Yeah,
on people like us, people like us that are of mind of freedom, independence, liberty, and privacy, that are armed, they do want us dead. We are a problem for them. We are such a problem that they're saying that to the FBI and the DOJ that we are the number one biggest threat to America. And I saw this shit. I was watching this. I think I was watching like Impractical Jokers or some shit like that. Right. I needed to bring some laughter into my day. And there was a commercial about this January 6th shit. And it's like some documentary they were dropping on January 6th. They were dropping it on January 7th. And they had like all these fucking actors in there, and they were all talking about how January 6th was like this, terrible moment of fear and terror. And oh my God, they had no idea what blah, blah, blah. And then they had this guy, it like zoomed in and panned in on this guy. He said, I had no idea that the biggest terror that we had to deal with were our own citizens. It was like, come the fuck on, dude. This is such like just drama bullshit. It's crazy.
Yeah, I have my own feelings on that. I have questions about that as well. I don't think it's what the media is making it out to be quite honest.
You talking about that date?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
that's a whole other conversation.
yeah.
I don't know if that we could make a whole video of just talking about conspiracies, which I'd be all about. Not even just not even government stuff. Like I actually like if you're really interested in talking, if you're interested in listening to stuff like that, I got turned on to this guy called Tony Merkel. He runs this thing called the Confessionals podcast. It's a lot of it's like paranormal shit, but like it also kind of goes into some like deep state stuff. It's actually pretty interesting. I mean, it breaks it down to where it's not so like Alex Jones type. Big Josh from Black Diamond Guns here turned me onto it, and like it makes you think. Like, I'm all about having a different outlook and thinking obviously a little bit differently, and having the ability to kind of see outside the box.
Yeah.
And
I think that's super important. I think that we're at a day and age where critical thinking is almost gone, like almost completely eliminated, where people don't sit back and just think like, I'm curious about what actually happened, where we are living in a world where we have the most information at our fingertips, more than we'll likely ever have, like in the past 100 years, right? Why can't we just take time to research shit? Most of it will be bullshit, but I just think that critical thinking and actually like truth seeking is a thing of the past for the general public, at least. But the last thing I'll end on before we go is this: felons and firearms. What are your thoughts on that? Should felons own guns? Now this is a doozy.
Yeah, and that's the thing. There's the idea of, okay, what's a violent crime and what's non-violent? What if you're a violent criminal, okay, certain drug charges can be considered violent crime, violent felonies. How does it hurt? Does it hurt someone physically, mentally, financially? White collar crime, blue collar crime, shit like that.
So are you thinking that the people that commit there are certain crimes where they shouldn't be allowed to have?
It depends. Personally, I think if you molest children or men, women, or children, you kill people, or you are the cause of someone having some type of bodily harm, no, I don't think you should have a firearm. But for instance, say you get a DUI, who hasn't made that mistake? I don't think you should be permanently disqualified from owning a firearm. If you're a habitual offender, that's a different story. But I feel, depending on what it is, especially in terms of like DUI, you should. It's like, okay, get your shit together. You do it again, no. But we all know guys or kids that were 21 years old. They started drinking, and they go off to the bars with their friends. Becoming an adult, they make a mistake, they drank too much, and they might be over the limit by a little bit, and boom, you get a DUI. I don't think you should be disqualified from firearm over one mistake. Like that.
When someone shoots somebody.
Huh?
What if someone shoots somebody and then they go to jail and then go to prison and then
So
get
you're saying if they serve their time, they serve their debt to society, and they come out
yeah.
and saying they should have their rights restored?
Well, I mean, maybe I'm asking you, Rusty. What's up?
You're asking me.
Yeah, like if
Depending on what it is, like if you killed someone in cold blood, I don't know. It's a case by case basis, but then again, you can't have case. It's all for one for all.
yeah, it's different.
It's very difficult. And like me personally, I'd be one of those people where it's like, hey, that kind of depends. Like, yo, if you kill someone in cold blood, that's kind of a
So
all
here's
right. What are you gonna do?
so I had a similar outlook at one point, right? And what really changed my mind was that we're being programmed to believe that um, that the government has the ability to take something, remove it, or give it back, which that wouldn't make it a God-given right or natural right. That would make it a privilege, right? So the thing that really kind of made me look at this differently was somebody had asked me, "Do you believe that the right of self-preservation is a God-given right?" And I had said, "Well, yeah, I do." And do you think that that right is protected by or is supposed to be protected by the Constitution and the Second Amendment? I said, yes, I do. Then if that right is given to an individual by God, and if they do something, let's say they commit a crime, whatever, they go to jail and then they get released, the only thing keeping them from exercising that right is physically being incarcerated. And that then they finally asked, do you think that once they're released from prison, they should be reunited with their property? It could be firearms, it could be
Yeah, it could be
anything,
car, house, whatever. Yeah, whatever it be.
fucking whatever. And it was like, well, yeah, I agree, because freedom is dangerous, right? Like,
Yeah, exactly.
and even if somebody, like, let's be honest, right? Like, by definitions, by the definition, criminal, they're not going to follow the rules anyway, right? So
Exactly.
even they're a felon, they're going to be able to get a gun like that. So at that point,
There's always a loophole that someone's going to go out of the way, and essentially they're breaking the law by if they're a criminal and they're trying to find a loophole or whatever it is. It The root cause of it is they're breaking the law, whether you agree with it or not. Our justice system sees it as breaking the law. Um, and again, I can't preface this enough too, because I see some people in the comments kind of saying I don't know what I'm talking about.
they'll be all over the place. Don't
Yeah,
feel.
but I'm just throwing this out here. People can have disagreements, but still come on some type of find some type of common ground.
Yeah,
Um, I there's probably stuff you and I disagree with.
sure.
Are we gonna go to the town square and duel it out? No, we can
No, I
have
mean,
this.
we kind of just had a different outlook on what we just discussed. I mean,
Yeah,
that's
and again, it's to me that's a I've never really thought about it. Um, that is definitely that's something that I feel I wish we could figure out if we got some type of
well. Here's the crazy thing. The moment that we give permission to the government to remove any of our natural rights, they become privileges. So when we think of it like, okay, when a person is born, they're born with that right to self-preservation,
Yep.
regardless of
Okay.
choose, right?
Yeah.
Then it's impossible for the government to remove that unless, of course, they're doing time, they're being physically. Because I thought of it the same, right? I was
Yeah.
like, man, like uh, I'm programmed in a world that says if you do wrong, you lose these rights. Well, how? It's given to me by God.
Yeah, I will agree on that. I don't care if you were in jail or not. Every person on this earth has the God-given right to defend themselves and self-preservation. What you did in your life, I might not agree with. Doesn't matter. I think everyone has a God-given right to self-preservation.
And if
You
they And if they get a gun, whether lawful or not or whatever,
Exactly.
do asshole shit, then
I
they're gonna.
might not agree with it, but I can understand wanting to protect yourself and wanting to, preserve your life or your loved one. I can understand that. That comes down to your basic human need of protection and security and just feeling safe, whether it be a gun or a blade or pepper spray, or you decide to get two effing pit bulls and their guard, stand on guard. You have a right to feel protected. Like
Yeah,
everybody has that right.
and I think that we're kind of like programmed to say like, well, bad people shouldn't have those. That's the same argument that they're using against us. That people shouldn't have those because they may be bad.
Exactly. No, I,
That's
I, I, I had a feeling this is where you were taking this conversation. So I was like, it sounds like,
I wasn't trying to set you up or do a gotcha or anything. I was
yeah,
just
no. This is well, the second you asked me, well, what do you think about this? What do you think of this? I'm like, I know where he's going with this.
well, because part of it is like, we've had close to 60 people watching most of the time, aside from the last like half hour or so, and like out of that, if there's like 10 people that may feel the same way, they may leave this being like, huh, I didn't think about it like that. Because
Exactly.
yeah, they, no matter what, lawful or unlawful, they can still access guns, right? So the idea of like being okay with freedom being dangerous is that every person, has the right to self-preservation, so that that right shouldn't be taken away from them. It can't be taken away from them. If it's a natural right, then the the justice is, for an example, in Houston, right? That guy came in a fucking taco restaurant, a Hispanic restaurant, and he was robbing people at gunpoint. Let's say he was released and he lawfully purchased that gun right away, and he went and did this. That is freedom being dangerous, even though it was a fake gun and shit like that. I'm just using it as an example. Then he met justice on the floor of that Mexican restaurant. You know, so it's a possibility that people are gonna do shit like that, be evil, and act a fool.
Evil people are evil. You can't change. You can't legislate evil.
Boom.
You can't. No matter what, there is, I don't know if it goes down to a molecular level or it goes down to how a person was raised. Evil people, if it even gets down to a spiritual level, evil is out there and you're not going to legislate or control evil. It's coming no matter what.
Yeah.
And and I'm not trying to get like religious or anything like that, but you know,
No, I mean you're right. You're right.
you
That's
look at history, evil's going to, is what they say, the devil's going to come in
yeah.
and it's your job to stop it.
Yeah.
If that's the best way I can explain it. And again, I'm not like that. I'm not really religious, but like I think of it as in a bigger picture shit like that. You can't legislate evil, and that's my biggest problem, especially when it comes to like gun owners being sought as these like savage heathens. It's like no, we just want the best means to protect ourselves and our families and our loved ones, and feel that we shouldn't be chastised and tarred and feathered because we decide we want a particular firearm to protect our lives with. We're not evil. It's more of a sheepdog mentality
Yeah.
than anything else. Not okay. Why you treat me like I'm a criminal because I want a Glock 19 with a 17 round mag.
Yeah. That's crazy. Yeah, I mean, honestly, I'll never understand, and I'll also, I see a lot of people that are like, those laws, but trust me, guys, I know, like too many thing like the NFA is applied to individuals is unconstitutional. Totally agree, but ride around with an SBR for a few months, and an unregistered SBR doesn't matter, even though they shouldn't and really couldn't apply to us. there there's no way to avoid that. We'll get fucked over, and you guys and all of us are way more effective to the cause, the movement, the activism of our natural rights when we're out and not in jail, right? So that's all.
It's all well and good until you're in between a 6x6 cell and no and all that time saying, "Oh, I'm doing whatever I want," and all of a sudden you don't have your family.
Yeah, and Clint Eastwood, excellent South Central reference. That was good. OG Bobby Johnson, that was good. I know we ended it on a doozy of a question. I was just kind of curious because that's a very common outlook in our community, and it kind of feels weird at first to be like, yeah, felons should have guns because it just sounds like it like cannot compute, right? Like
Yeah, no,
because we've told our whole life that felons shouldn't have guns, but it's
I'm definitely, yeah, exactly. But I'm of the belief, no matter who you are, you have the right to self preservation or self protection, in whatever way. I mean, yeah, I don't agree if you do it illegally, but that's a whole separate issue. But the moral of it is, I think more people should just kind of. I wish more people had that mentality of like, okay, I'm not doing anything wrong for the most part. Like I'm just trying to do me and live my life. Like stop having all this government overreach and telling me and so much government in my life. Like
yeah. Imagine back in the 1700s, 1800s, like just not even like just 1800s, right? If the government was running around saying you can't have this company's flash pans on your muskets because these flash pans generate sparks too quickly on the flint, and it gives people a tactical advantage. They'd be like, what? You can't regulate accessories on my musket? Like, fuck off. They never ever would have said. And I saw a meme the other day. I think it was on 2AEDU, and he was like, "Remember when all those colonists were standing in line registering their muskets? Me either."
exactly.
And it was like,
I
"Yeah,
love
fuck,
how this country went to war over 3% tax raise in tea.
yeah, um, crazy." But where we are, and I think that if we started looking at where we are through a different lens of, you know, just just differently, we'd probably end up in a very different place as a country. But
Exactly. We'd be speaking British.
well, yeah, I mean, there's that too. I'm just thinking, like, from like, look, like, just like you said, like, we can disagree with each other and still care for each other, be kind, be
Yeah,
courteous. You know,
exactly.
I totally agree, and I think that if we're more powerful together than we are separate, and not only separate but separate and fighting and hating each other's ideals and being pushed to different sides and then being fed different shit from the media, and then even the alt media is poison nowadays, and it's totally fucking just sending us on these like isolation like zones where nothing is being done, nothing is being moved forward. So what we really need to do is get together with as large as a group from the general public as possible and peacefully tell the government, no, fuck you, fuck off, we're not going to do it. You can't regulate my fucking plastic and rubber braces, and you can't regulate the length of my barrel, or if I choose to put a secondary vertical grip on a pistol, like, fuck off, you can't do it. And we should have done that forever ago. But what happens is, like in May of '86, people get freaked out and they fucking run to register their machine guns because they don't want to lose that privilege, when really it's a God-given right that they should have either way. Anyway, I don't know, I'm beating a dead horse, but anyway, before we go ahead and bounce, let's go ahead and remind people who you are, what you do, and where they can find you, and we'll kill it.
All right. Well, I'm Joe with Shooting Gallery NE on YouTube and Instagram. Check me out. Run the Shooting Lewis podcast every Monday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Usually have one or two videos a week. Been busy at work, so just give me a little bit of a break, guys. I'm trying to get as much stuff out there. I've just been crazy busy. But I also have two other channels. You can check out 3D Printing Joe for 3D printing videos. And then I have a cigar review channel, Smoking Millennial. So check them
Oh,
all out on the socials.
nice. That's awesome. Now, before we cut out, I have one last question. Does it secretly like break your heart when you have to pin like $50 to $100 magazines on a hand, and then yeah.
Yeah. I had to do it on a Sig Legion mag, and those things are like $70.
Damn.
Yeah.
I would assume that would kind of like
it sucks.
Yeah.
Absolutely sucks.
Now, about like you guys can only
only 10 rounds.
Or pre-94.
Yeah, or pre-94, yeah.
No, only pre-94 that have been in Massachusetts.
Been in the state, yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Bro. Guys, appreciate the state that you live in and the things that you can have, and go ham on what you can have, because the likelihood of them giving rights back that they've already encroached on is highly unlikely. So get ammo, because you don't want to run out of batteries for your toys. And oh man, and like medical, and then of course water and food. And I feel like, look, we're in a dangerous place. We're on like the precipice of war, like world war, where it's important that we prepare. And yeah, I'll leave you guys with that. Anything else you want to say before we go?
Be kind, and don't be quick to get in an argument. Just practice the belief of being a good person and seeing people for who they are, and have a strong moral compass, and make sure your bullshit meter is on point.
Hell yeah. All right, well, we'll go ahead and end here, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for coming and tuning in and hanging out. I appreciate that. And guys, no fighting in the comments. It's not allowed. Yeah, we're not allowed to do that. So guys, I'll close this out just the same way that I close every single stream, which is the rules. Rule number 1 is to be kind. It's so important that we're kind in everything that we do. That brief little interaction that you have with somebody else, you can have a massive impact on their life. So be kind. You never know when you can make an impact like that on somebody else, even if their beliefs differ from yours. Rule number 2, live a life of care, compassion, contribution, give to others. When you bless others, you become blessed. So keep that hand open, because a hand that's open to give is open to receive. Also, rule number 3, we know that the only way for us to defeat evil is with good men and women skilled in violence. So make sure that you are becoming as highly skilled in violence as you possibly can be, and be safe, be dangerous, and keep that thing on you. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, I appreciate all of you guys. Please remember to comment after the video posts, because once I get through and ship out all the shit that I should have shipped out over a week, once I get through that, I'll be giving away some more shit soon. So we got some more stuff incoming. And yeah, appreciate all y'all. Love all y'all. Glowy Squad. Peace out. And thanks again. Make sure you subscribe to Shooting Gallery New England too, and 3D Printing Joe, and the Smoking Millennial. It's good shit. And find them on Instagram too at Shooting Gallery NE, like New England. So that's right. Those are right.
Everybody. Yeah. Well, Shooting Gallery New England in one word. Someone used Shooting Gallery NE, unfortunately. Rat bastards.
Oh, yeah. Well, that. All right, y'all. Later.